to find where our graph crosses the x-axis, or to find when the ball or the item hits the ground, we want to know when the height is 0. In order to do that, we are going to use the quadratic formula. This will work every time, all the time, every day. So in order to use this formula, we first have to identify A, B, and C. So remember, in standard form, A is always with the squared variable. So in example 1, that's negative 16. B is always with the single variable, which is 32. And then the C is always by itself, no variables attached. So in this case, it's 5. Make sure you put the sign of the number with the number itself. All right, now, this one you got to be careful. You just got to pay attention to the small details as you rewrite the equation. So the equation is negative b. So we're going to do negative 32. At plus or minus sign, I'm going to explain what that means in a second. Square root b squared. So 32 squared minus 4 times a times c. All over 2 times a. So we're just taking all the a, b, and c in this equation and replacing it with the a, b, and c we found down here. Now we're going to solve this in pieces. The first part we solve, we can't do anything with that negative 32. We then simplify everything that's underneath that square root. So I'm going to need to open up my calculator real quick. In the calculator, we're just going to put everything under the square root. So this is called a discriminant. So we're going to do 32 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 5. So we get 1, 3, 4, 4. And then we're going to simplify the bottom. So on the bottom, we get negative 32 when we multiply them. What this plus minus sign means, right here, that means that we're going to have to write this, split this off into 2 separate solutions. So we're going to have one solution that's going to look like this. Negative 32 plus 1344 over negative 32. And we're going to have one that does negative 32 minus the square root of 1344 all over negative 32. Because if we think about this, when we have a parabola that faces down, it's going to hit the x-axis twice. So there will be 2 solutions that we have to try to solve for. So we're going to do this first. In the calculator, I'll do the plus one first. So we do negative 32 plus the square root of 1344. We then have to divide it by negative 32. So this answer is negative 0.15. And if we do the other one, we're going to have negative 32 minus this time square root 1344, and then divide it by negative 32. So we get positive 2.15. Now with these 2 solutions, remember, this is the time it takes to hit the ground. So we have negative 0.15 seconds to hit the ground, or 2.15 seconds to hit the ground. Negative time doesn't make sense, so that's not our solution. This is. So it's going to take Dash and Ron. It's going to take 2.15 seconds for their grappling hook to hit the ground.